Hello and welcome to my first ever writing vlog. I'm just so excited. I feel like this book has been taking over my life and it just seems natural to start a writing vlog because I need to talk to somebody about this and I don't want to bombard everyone in my personal life about my story. So thank you for watching, and if you're new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch this video over here where I pretty much talk about the book that I would like to write. I share with you a little information about the story, the characters. I share with you the mood board for the story, and you get a lot more information about my story in that video. But if you are not new here, hey girl, I have been working on this book kind of non-stop for the past few days, so I have quite a bit of updates. And before I get started, I just want to thank you guys so much for the sweet comments that I got in the last video. I don't know, I don't know. It's so crazy to me to like read comments of people who seem interested in my story. Like that's just wild to me, especially because it's been sitting for the past 5 years collecting dust. And I don't know, it just makes me feel really happy that you guys seem interested in my little story. So yeah. Okay, let me get started. So if you watched the last video, I pretty much had a little to-do list of things I wanted to finalize before I get started with writing, and I pretty much did that. So on the to-do list, I had names, personalities, basic timeline, world building, plot, and the POVs that I wanted to figure out what all that entailed. So for the names, I finalized all of them. From my understanding, I don't know how much information you guys want to hear about the story because right now I don't have any publishing goals, or I don't know if y'all will ever read this book, but also by the time this book comes out you probably might forget about a lot of things I say, and also I don't know, I just don't want to say anything and then I change it later on. But at the same time, this is kind of like my little diary showcasing my journey with writing. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and share with you what I've discovered, and no spoilers, even though I don't even know if I know the spoilers yet. Like we've talked about before, our female main character, her name is Noah. She's a determined go-getter. She is in graduate school right now. She's getting her master's in public administration. She loves the city. She loves her community. She just really wants to do her part in making the city better than it already is. It's her home and all that stuff. So that's a little bit about Noah. She's also assertive and determined in her goals, but also very like feminine and dainty. Let me know if you guys, and I feel like I'm going to make a video about this just because I have so much to say about it. But so for Noah, she's a black girl, and I feel like I'm trying my best to make her like assertive, but then I just am fearful of it turning into like a stereotype of like, you know, strong black woman and like portraying those like masculine attributes that black women never asked for. So I definitely want to like do her justice in the fact that, you know, she's a go-getter, gets what she wants, but also feminine and soft and dainty, and you know, not carrying the world on her shoulders and not at the front lines of things. Let me know if you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's her. She just makes me really happy, and I hope to do her justice. And all my black girlies out there, I hope I can do her justice for you as well. Then we have August. I was having a hard time with his name because I had so many options for him, but I just decided to keep his name to be August because I wanted to keep some things the same from my first draft that I made in 2019. So he's the mayor of our beautiful city. He is a very strict, cold, grumpy man, but also attractive, you know. So Noah ends up getting an internship working for the mayor, and they're gonna butt heads. He's gonna not want her there really because he feels like, what can an intern do for him type of thing. And of course our girl Noah is very like hard-headed and determined, so despite whatever he says to her, she's gonna prove herself. That's that dynamic there. Also, there's a lot of tension with August because he's the youngest mayor to have ever been holding office in our city. I mentioned this a lot in the last video, but the city is the most important city in the country. It is the capital of innovation and technology, art and design, entrepreneurship, entertainment. Like, it is a grand old big city, and the whole country pretty much looks to this place, and it kind of sets the blueprint for the rest of the country as well. Maybe even the world. Gotta figure that out. But yeah, it's not just some little tiny city. It's a big deal. So him holding office caused a lot of drama, and we're in election season right now, so there's a lot of stakes in her being an intern, and you know, he just doesn't want to mess anything up, and her being there could be a liability. So there's that. Then we also have our man Xander, who is Noah's best friend. They've been friends for probably around high school, and he is a very protective man. He does not like that Noah is in the middle of this whole election because, like I said, tension's really high. The city's very divided, and he just wants to protect her, but she is a go-getter and she doesn't want anyone to hold her back, but he is trying to hold her back low-key. And also he hates the mayor, so her working closely with the mayor gets him upset because he also works in City Hall as a police officer, and so he's seen the mayor, he's heard about things about the mayor, and he just doesn't like what he's hearing. So there's that. Okay, I'll just leave it out there because I have a lot of other stuff, but I feel like it'll be more fun to like save that information for a little bit later. But that's just some background. I also figured out the layout of the city. The city is broken up into different parts, and they all have names as well, which we don't have to talk about right now. And then I decided that I want the POV to be mostly in Noah's point of view, but then maybe further into the book we might get a point of view of August, maybe even Xander, depending on where we're at in the story, but it's primarily going to be in Noah's point of view. But don't be surprised if you get some information from other point of views as well. Alright, so that is all the little homework I did before I decided to get started on writing, and so far I have written about 2 pages worth. How many words is this? So 459 words. So she's still in her baby stages. Something that I realized is that I am so rusty when it comes to writing. I have not written like creatively in like 5 years, and I kind of struggled with these 2 pages, guys, not gonna lie. I kept going back, changing stuff, not because I feel like you should edit while you go, but I just am not happy with the tone. I feel like I'm struggling a lot. Let me finish my thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm struggling a lot with tone because I felt like when I first was writing, like the whole first page and a little bit of the second page, I feel like you couldn't tell her personality. Like the tone was kind of like giving too descriptive and almost like homework assignment, and like this is how it is factually. And I wasn't even really giving much exposition, so I don't know how I was able to do that because it's like a talent but in the worst way. I don't know. But I'm pretty much going in trying to like figure out how I want the tone to be. I feel very rusty, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I have so many books around me so I can open it and read some pages. I don't know, get some inspo of how their tone is and how like you can hear their voice in the writing. I just am struggling a little bit with that, and I feel like I knew that every character should have their own voice and tone and whatever, but maybe I was focusing way too much on the dialogue because I feel like you could hear the personality more and know the personality more through the dialogue than everything else, but I want it to be all encompassing. So yeah, I feel like I'm like just getting warmed up again with writing because it's been so long. Also, something that I have as well is now a document where it has like writing and grammar info because there's so much that I just don't know. Because I was noticing when I was opening other books and trying to see how they had the tone and the dialogue and even just the structure of the book, I was confused about punctuation in dialogue because sometimes I would see commas and sometimes I would see periods, and I just didn't know when to put a comma and when to put a period in dialogue. So I got confused, but I did some research, and so I learned that they use commas for speech and then periods for action. So if you said he said, there would be a comma there, or he asked, there would be a comma there. But if you said like he smiled, then there would be a period there at the end of the quotation marks. So there's so many little tiny things that I'm realizing I just don't know, and I'm trying to figure out myself, but I'm having fun with it nonetheless. Hopefully throughout this whole thing I can see myself grow more as a writer and get back into the groove of things, I guess, because I've been super excited to get started with writing, but then this little pause that I am taking in terms of finalizing tone, learning more about like when to use what punctuation in dialogue and stuff like that is something I didn't account for, which is okay because I'm not in a rush anyways. But I was just so excited to get started with writing and get into it, and I feel like if I didn't have all this I probably would have been like in chapter 3 by now. But yeah, just trying to figure all this out. Any resource that I've used, I'm gonna link it below, like in terms of grammar and writing tips and stuff like that, because it'd be hard sometimes, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you kind of like, I didn't know that was a thing. So anyways, welcome to today's writing vlog. I'm going to pretty much take you along with me for the next few days, share with you what I'm learning, where we're at the book, and all this stuff. So I hope you stick around, and let's just go ahead and start writing.
Perfect Sunday on the blues. We looked happy, but I was going through it. On the same thing. Cause you say things but never really do.
So I think it's been about 2 days since I last came on here, and I really don't remember what I talked about, but quick little update. I am just over 2,000 words so far, but I haven't written anything in a minute, just because now I'm at the point where we did some setting up of the story and we get introduced to Noah, and she's gonna have this capstone project for class and everything, and we've already had 2 conversations with 2 different people about it. So now, like, I was thinking about like what should the next scene be, and so I was trying to brainstorm like hobbies for Noah, or like a third place for her to go that's not work or school and stuff like that. So I think I'm just gonna go with the cafe, and hopefully in this cafe setting we get to like know a little bit more of the community and her relationship with other people that way. But not gonna lie, I was a little stumped on it, just because I was like, I don't want it just to be like a filler scene, but I don't know what to fill the scene with. So that was kind of interesting for me to think about, because I really don't think I've ever written anything where I put this much thought into it, low-key. Which is good, I guess, because I'm now writing as an adult, which is something that is kind of new for me. So yeah, but I'm still really excited because I had so much fun writing chapter 1 and 2. I know that there is so much that I still need to discover about the world, the characters, and all that stuff. And not gonna lie, I feel like I kept coming up with things that I felt like I needed to figure out. But honestly, things will probably change. Like, I feel like I have this idea that whatever I come up with now is gonna be permanent and it's set in stone, but that's really not the case. And something else that I realized is that I try to edit as I go. Like, there were so many times where I reread chapters 1 and 2 and already made so many changes, and I'm like, girl, this is probably not gonna stay this way. And I feel like I need to learn how to release that and just be like, yo, just keep writing, stop looking back so much when we're literally just starting chapter 3. Like, I need to relax. It's really like embarrassing. But I know that I'm not the only one who does this. I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I have like an itch to keep going. I want to get further along in the story. I want to get introduced to the mayor, but I really need to relax. If that's anything that I've learned so far, is just to relax. Also, I got this suggestion in my last video about doing a Myers-Briggs personality test for my characters, and I thought that was a really cool idea, just to get to know them a little bit more. And I honestly was gonna go fully in, like, in answering all the questions how I think each character would answer, but I really don't think I have time or care enough to do that, just because I feel like I have a general idea already, and I'm already familiar with the personality test anyway. So I just thought I would go ahead and share with you what I think at this moment in time everyone's personality is. And if you're not aware, the test is pretty much broken up into 4 types. So you're either an introvert, an extrovert, a sensor, intuitive, thinker, feeler, judge, or perceiver. So for our main girl Noah, she is going to be an ENFP. So an extrovert, intuitive, feeler, and perceiver. And I'm gonna also put a little picture of what that means for her personality. So for an ENFP, she's enthusiastic, creative, spontaneous, optimistic, supportive, playful, values inspiration, enjoys starting new projects, and sees potential in others. For our mayor, he's gonna be the complete opposite. So he is an ISTJ. That means he is responsible, sincere, analytical, reserved, realistic, systematic, hardworking, and trustworthy, with sound practical judgment. Which I feel like all these descriptions are so far very much line up with both characters. And then also for our guy Xander, he's gonna be an ESTJ. So he is efficient, outgoing, analytical, systematic, dependable, realistic, likes to run the show and get things done in an orderly fashion, which makes sense because he's a cop. So those are the little personality types so far for our main characters. We also have another character, but if I'm being honest, I don't know anything about her besides her name and a brief backstory about her. But depending on how prevalent she is in the story, then I'll definitely explain her little personality. But yeah, I am having so much fun with I literally look like a cuckoo. It is like 11 p.m. But anyways, I'm having so much fun writing, and I also watched a little writing sprint today. I came in a little bit late to the live stream. It was hosted by Lindy Jung, I think is her name. I've never watched a video of her, but I definitely want to, because she just seems like a sweet little sweetie. I don't know. And I want to watch more author tubers. So if you have any author tube suggestions, or if you're an author tuber yourself, let me know. I'm gonna continue writing me hopefully learn a little bit more about these characters and the story. I don't know what point I will be at by the time I end this vlog, but I'll probably update you tomorrow because I think I'm gonna get some writing done, but we'll see, because I'm probably gonna start another writing vlog. I'm not gonna lie. Before I leave, I've just recently started reading a new book, which is annoying to me because I feel like I have not been reading as much as I would have liked, but that's what happens when you have too many freaking hobbies. But I'm reading a book right now, and this is the first book I'm reading as a new like writer, author, whatever. I don't know if it's a good book or a bad book yet, but I feel like I'm definitely looking at the story differently, analyzing it differently, because I am an aspiring author as well. So that's a little bit interesting. I'm only on like chapter like 2 of the book, so there's not that much that I feel like I've learned, but I feel like some things that I was nervous and couldn't understand if that was normal or not, or made sense or not, I feel like I'm kind of feeling validated in a lot of ways by reading this book and being like, okay, so this isn't weird what I'm doing, because I'm literally just basing it off of the books that I've read, especially in terms of structures. I think I talked a little bit about this in the last update with like dialogue tag and action tags and stuff like that. I didn't even know the terminology, but here I am learning terminology. But like the setup and structure was foreign to me, and like how to explain things was foreign to me. And also I was talking to Brielle literally like yesterday about how as a reader, I feel like I'm so good at analyzing what is good and what's bad in a book for me personally, what I like and what I don't like in a book, and like being able to give suggestions of what I wish they did differently and what I wish they would have changed. As a writer, it's so hard. Like I'm literally looking at what I wrote so far and I'm like, I know what I need to do, but like doing is hard. Like it's so much different to produce it than just like give suggestions and not have to like actually put in the work for it, which is frustrating because you know exactly what needs to be done. But like I'm still like getting used to writing again and like working out that muscle. So it's just again something that I need to put my perfectionist self to the side about and just keep going. But I just thought that was really interesting. But anyways, let me go to bed. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. So I think the last update I gave was last night, and now it's the evening in the next day. A lot has happened. So I went to work on some writing today. I did a session earlier today, and now I'm kind of in the midst of another one, but the sun is setting, so I kind of want to give you an update now. But I think I told you guys last that like I was having a hard time figuring out Noah's like hobbies or her third place or something like that, and I said I was gonna have her be at a cafe. And so I already wrote that scene. I don't even know if I'm done yet because I have some ideas, but she finished talking with Xander about her project and the possibility of working with the mayor, and of course Xander isn't a fan of that, and he is actually doing security detail for the mayor, so it's like a close proximity thing. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video, but there's a love triangle between her, Xander, and the mayor. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but it's gonna be really juicy because she's working with the mayor and Xander is also working with the mayor, so they're all very close together. So the drama, I am messy, guys. Anyways, I love to make it as dramatic as possible. But like I was saying, she's at a cafe, and I was thinking like, should she just be getting a coffee? Should she be working at the coffee shop? But I decided to do it where she has a friend there who works at the coffee shop, and Noah, like we've established, is very into volunteering, community service, and like literally like trying to build her community up. So she's friends with this barista, and she frequently helps the barista because the barista is a single mom and sometimes needs help with the kids. And also I think I'm gonna have it where Noah also covers the barista's shifts sometimes, so she just does everything for free. And even like the owner of the coffee shop tells her often, hey Noah, either get out or let me hire you so you can get paid. And Noah's just like, no, I'm just here to serve my community. So yeah, I've actually had a lot of fun with that. Like I have a lot of ideas with this. I feel like having her friendship with the barista will be really good for showing how ingrained. Sorry, I just saw a kid on a hoverboard and I was like, where's your mom? But she's there. Anyways, having a relationship with the barista will help show another example of how she's in the community and wanting the community to be better. I think too, like the community aspect, I have visions for it coming up later again, and I just like this because she's not just all talk and always talking about how she loves the city and she just wants to be in public administration because she loves the city. Like we're seeing her in like examples of how she does it and how selfless she is and how I just love this girl. Like, she's not even real, but I'm genuinely loving her. And I think I'm gonna write the scene for the first mayoral debate between August and his opponent, and I think she's gonna watch it for the first time during this scene. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. And I feel like I was kind of at a pause before, but now I'm kind of getting things moving again, and I feel the juices flowing. Anytime I have an idea, I have to write it down just to make sure I don't forget anything. And also something that I realized is that I'm really bad with like describing the characters. Like, not even that I'm writing it down poorly and describing it poorly, it's just that I forget to like mention what everybody looks like. I have yet to even mention what Noah looks like, so I'm probably gonna have to go back or something. But yeah, I have to go back for a few characters and just try to describe what they look like, because in my mind I already see them clearly, and I've shown you guys some of the pictures on Pinterest and stuff like that. So like in my mind I'm also like, oh, y'all seen them, but I need to write that down. So that's something I definitely need to keep in mind. But I think that's all for today. I had so much fun with this first ever writing vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I definitely plan to do more. I'll probably film one right after this, and let's see how frequent I can post them. I really don't want them though to like overshadow like my whole channel. So this might be, am I crazy? I think I might be doing a little much, but like I have an idea of maybe posting one video and then the writing video at the same time, but like I don't know, maybe not always like back-to-back posting, because I literally just posted one yesterday. I don't know when this is coming up, but I already started editing this vlog, so I don't know, we'll see, because I don't want to just keep having back-to-back writing vlogs when I also have other stuff I want to post. This is new to me, but shoot, if you want to watch it, if you want to see it, then I will deliver. But anyways, I'm gonna go now. I'm really trying to continue this flow, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.
Really know it, set to end it, but as I'm leaving you